Hi, Jerome. My name is Sandra. Thank you for coming in today. I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
And start with question one. What motivated you to apply for this position with our department and leaving your potential employer?
Well, in a word, it's Google, and it's for the kind of thing that I do. It's the ultimate place to work, especially in the people operations, in doing the statistics and the analytics. Um, I have some experience, working at IBM, uh, but really, in this day and age, Google is the ultimate place to work for, and it's where I want to be. It's the place that where people are doing the kinds of things that I want to be doing. So for me, that's a very, very quick and easy answer.
Okay, Jerome. What would you say was the most difficult challenge that you came across in your current job?
Good question. Well, IBM, is one of the older companies in this space. They have offices all over the world, and as an HR person and an analytics person, it was a real challenge. Basically, creating new algorithms to basically recruit people, but also to deal with each different uh, environments across the globe. The the legal and cultural considerations are very different, in the United States as they are from places, in Europe and in Asia. So really, that to me was a very challenging thing.
Great, great. Where would you see yourself in the next 10 to 15 years?
Well, I would see myself, you know, in a more advanced position, really trying to work with, working with the diverse people of Google, taking on new responsibilities, also, climbing the ladder in the organization. I've been doing this for a while, uh, but I'm always learning. I'm always developing new skills and techniques. And in 10 or 15 years, really, I want to be able to train and to be a mentor to people like me right now. So I really, want to be, at Google and grow there to a position of influence and where I can really have an effect on people who are just coming up.
Thank you. Okay, next question. How many people do you think Google screens every week? And how many people do you think in a year?
Okay, well, I did do some some research, and I think that in a year there's about 1 million or 2 million people who actually apply. Um, so, given that we have 54 weeks, I would say that it would be in the thousands of applicants per year. Knowing Google, I'm sure they, in fact, I know that they have some great tools to really screen and pre-screen a lot of the applicants because with so many applicants that they can't really all be suitable. I think a lot of people apply that are not suitable or don't have the right skills. So so I would say that after the pre-screening, there are probably in the hundreds of people who make it through to the next level of screening.
Okay. Could you tell me what you know about this position you're applying for?
Yeah, the it's as it's a people analyst position in the people analytics division of the people operations at Google. Basically, it's a position much like what I have currently at my present company. We basically it's it's a position that relies on people who know how to manipulate statistics, numbers, who could use the techniques and the tools, the analytical tools to really make the best decisions as they relate to people operations. So that will include, recruitment. It will include how to retain employees who are good. It will include finding the best sources of human resources across the country and the world. So that's why it's fascinating to me, because you have this, you have to use the tools that I love using, that I studied in college, and is using now, and I'm using now, uh, and you use those tools basically to create the best organization possible with the people that you get.
Yes. Yes, I see that you are proficient with Microsoft. And are you comfortable with Apple products? Because we tend to use Mac and Apple products in our office.
Yeah, that's not a problem for me. I do, in my present job, I use Windows operating system, but I have a Mac at home. It's not a problem. Statistics and the little programming that I know, it'll work on either, so that's not a problem.
Great, great. We're looking to expand our recruiting program to military veterans. How would you contribute to expansion?
Um, yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that I know a few veterans myself, and I know that it's kind of difficult for many of them to get back and to integrate back into normal civilian life. Um, and given that I know some of those people, I would love to work on projects to find and to recruit veterans, who would be suitable candidates at Google for various positions. I think it's an important thing. I think it does good for the organization internally, but also externally. Um, and I think that Google has to represent, the whole world uses Google, so Google has to be represented by the whole world, and they're an important component in that.
Great, great. Have you had a chance to read Laszlo Bach's book, who leads the People's Organization Group? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, I have read his book, and I've also seen him on, I've done some web searches and seen interviews with him and heard him talk. I think he's one of my heroes because he really he really loves the idea of using technology to the service of people, and the fact that he's integrated, analytical and quantitative tools in the service of people, not as an end in themselves, I think is great. He, in his book, I read about how he was curious about why, women who got pregnant would leave Google. He just didn't, he just wanted to know why that was, and using some analytical tools along with some more, traditional HR tools like interviews and surveys and things like that, he found out, why they were leaving. And basically it had to do with the length of maternity leave and the general inflexibility in our society as it comes to women, who have to get maternity leave. So he put his knowledge into action. He basically created a maternity leave system whereby women could take a longer maternity leave and be supported by Google, or they could take the leave in different chunks. So to me that was a brilliant way to do that, and he addressed the situation. And now, a few years after he implemented that program, uh, he has been able to retain most women who go through maternity leave. They don't leave like they used to. They stay.
Great, great, great. What kind of skills do you think you bring to Google from your previous job that could make you stand out or make changes?
Well, I work at IBM, so it's a very challenging place to work for. It's kind of in the same space. We deal with a lot of technology people. Um, I since part of my major in undergraduate school was statistics. I apply those tools there, and I know that that's what Google is wants in people analysts. So already I think I'm a perfect fit for that department. What I'll bring additionally to that is just my enthusiasm and my ambition to really succeed and to really advance, and like I said before, to kind of get to a position where I can kind of elevate the people who are who come after me.
Right. Next question. Are you willing to relocate to any part of the world if promotion came up with us?
Yeah, I mean that's something that I thought you might ask, because I looked on a map and Google's all over the place. And I think that it would be something I would give very serious consideration to. I do have a family, so I have to take that into account. But I think that given that opportunity, I would give it a lot of thought. But I think ultimately, yes, I would relocate somewhere else. I'm fluent in Spanish, so that puts me in line to work in a lot of different places around the globe. So the short answer would be yes.
Great. Well, Jerome, thank you for coming.
Okay.
And this concludes our interview, unless you have any further questions.
Okay.
And we will get back to you within 2 weeks. We'll
Okay.
make our decision then.
All right.
And if you have any questions in the meantime, here's my card. You can call me.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.